If I were getting married this year, this is the look that I would do. I'm back with another bridal look. This one is so perfect for spring and summer. I'm gonna show you how to get it. We're gonna start off with skin prep. I like to keep the skin prep minimal, but I like to keep my skin really hydrated. So I'm gonna go in with the Ilia face milk. My skin is oily, so I like to keep it minimal so that my skin doesn't get really shiny throughout the day. I feel like when I have too much product on, it can get oily. Love the underpainting technique for bridal makeup. You do too many layers, that's how your makeup can start to look cakey. I'm going to use the Too Faced bronzer stick. This is really creamy and easy to blend out. I personally love a really bronzy look for wedding days, so I do not hold back when applying product. Foundation that you're going to use is really just going to depend on your skin type. I'm going to use the Armani Luminous Silk. I love this foundation. It looks really good in person and also photographs really well. Also doesn't feel like you have a ton of makeup on your face. There is nothing worse than when you feel like you just have way too much going on. Do not forget to take the foundation on the neck. If you have your ears exposed, add foundation to your ears. Okay, my favorite part to any makeup look is blush. I'm gonna use one of my favorites. This is Happy from Rare. I want the blush to be extra glowy, so I'm gonna take Mesmerize. This is also from Rare. Add that to the plate. I'm just gonna mix the two together. I'm just going to take my brush and add the product. I'm just gonna start patting and building up that color. See how stunning that is? Concealer, I'm gonna use one of my favorites. This is Tarte Shape Tape. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the mixing plate as well. Instead of going directly on my face with that applicator, I'm going to use this BK Beauty brush. That way I'm going to have more control with where I put the product and I'm not using too much product. The under eyes to me is one of the most important parts to a wedding makeup look because you need something that's not going to budge. We really want to avoid cakey and creasing under eyes as much as possible. I'm not going to add any more product onto that brush. I'm just going to take what's left and then go over my lid. This is going to be my eye primer. That's all applied. I'm going back to that blush brush with no extra product and I'm just blending out the edges. Makeup is so tedious, but I promise not skipping these little steps makes the biggest difference. You're just gonna be blending a lot. For the under eyes, I like a bright, smooth look. I'm gonna use my Givenchy Prism Lead powder, and then I'm gonna tap off the excess in the palm of my hand. And before I set the under eye, I'm going to make sure I have no creasing whatsoever. And I'm lightly just going to tap that powder into the under eyes. Take that powder over the lid. For the rest of the face, I'm going to set with Charlotte Tilbury, and I love using this for touch-ups. If you are getting married, this is the best powder to keep on hand. I'm going to add just a touch of powder blush. This is from this Hourglass palette. Blush is usually the first thing that fades, so adding this extra layer is just really going to guarantee you don't need to add more throughout the day. You really need to bring back some moisture to the face, so I'm going to spray. Now I'm just going to fill in my brows with this Kosas Nano Brow Pop. I love how tiny that is. It just gives you a lot of control. Benefit 24-hour brow. Guys, I'm just going to take the Patrick Ta matte palette and take these lighter shades. Now I'm just going to start adding this to the crease. Take these darker brown shades. I'm just going to focus this on the lash line and outer corner. For the shimmer, I'm going to use this Armani highlight. I'm just going to apply this to my mixing plate to coat my whole brush. Now I'm just going to apply. I'm going to stop halfway so it's just really focused on the inner corner. I take this brown Givenchy pencil and I'm just going to add this to the lash line. Just a tiny bit to the inner corner. The smaller detail brush in a dark brown, I'm just going to start to smudge that out. As I'm doing that, I'm just going to drag this down to the outer corner of the lower lash line. Trick I like to do is once I have my eyeshadow applied, I take a bronzer, just go over it and blend everything together. I'm going to take this ColourPop eyeshadow stick. I'm just going to apply this to the inner corner. I'm just going to curl the lashes. Just adding some Armani mascara. If this is actually your wedding day, use a waterproof. I've never really loved the look of a full strip lash, so I just take the Ardell 420 lashes and I cut them right down the middle. And after I've let it sit for about 30 seconds so that the glue is tacky, I'm just going to apply it to the outer corner of my eye. Love a contoured almost shadow for a lip liner. So I'm going to take Stone from Refi. Pinky Nude is my all-time favorite for bridal. I'm going to use Coco K from Kylie Cosmetics just in the center. And this pink gloss from Chantecaille. Okay, you guys, here is the final look. I absolutely love this look. I feel like it's glam, but not too much. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys recreate this look, make sure to tag me so I can see. I did professional bridal makeup for 8 years. This is the look that I would do if I was a 2024 bride. As always, we want to start off with moisturizing, and that includes the lips. I'm using the Summer Fridays balm. For the wedding day, we actually want to keep the skincare minimal. I typically avoid serums. Those tend to pill under makeup easily. I just stick to a moisturizer that I know pairs well with all of the makeup that I use. I'm using the Road Glazing Fluid. I absolutely love the underpainting technique for wedding day. It's going to help you avoid using too much foundation. You're not going to get that cakey look. Using less layers of product means your makeup is going to look amazing in person, which is what we want on the wedding day. This is the Nude Sticks Neutral Medium Contour. My skin type is normal to oily. I do tend to get shiny throughout the day. Using my Lancome Tonti Dole foundation, I know that this stuff is bulletproof for me. I'm blending this in. I'm not directly going over that contour, just patting this in and blending around the edges. To add a little bit of warmth to the face, I apply the LYS bronzer stick to the back of my hand. I'm lightly just going over that contour. When applying to the cheeks, I want to add this a little bit higher than the contour and just adding a little bit of this to the nose also. I love pinky blush on brides, so I'm going to do a mixture of these two. This first one is Rose Glow. This is from Nude Sticks, and I really like a lifted cheek look, so I'm going to apply this right above that contour and bronzer and just a little bit of this on the nose. Going in with a more vibrant pink. This is Magenta Magic. This is also from Nude Sticks. This is just going right on top. Concealing with Tarte Shape Tape. I've been using this concealer for years and I find that it really does not crease on me. Stays put throughout the day. I'm going to take this over the lid also as my eye primer. Blending out the edges now of that concealer with that blush brush. Givenchy Prism Leap powder, and I'm going to tap off the excess on the back of my hand. I'm lightly just going to set the under eyes with this powder. For the rest of my face, I love to set with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. This powder is very thin, so it sets your makeup, but it doesn't completely take away the glow that you want. Blush is typically the first thing to fade, so I'm going to add one more layer of powder. This is the Dior Pink Blush. To bring the moisture back to the face, we really want to set. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm now going to use the Dior Glow Maximizer in the shade Pink. I'm going to go down the bridge of the nose. I like to apply this with my beauty blender, and I'm really just going to put this all over the cheek as a blush topper slash highlight. For some reason, my TikTok will not allow me to exceed like 5 minutes of filming time, so I'm going to have to split this up. Go to part 2 for the rest.